is the story? What's your story?
Week 7?
Yep, week 7. What's the story so far? Is it the Jets? Is it the Eagles? I mean, you could go all kinds of
no,
ways,
the story of the NFL through the first 6 weeks of the season is how the Buffalo Bills look the part that everybody thought that they were going to play this year, which is the Super Bowl champs. They look the part despite being 5-1, and the Eagles at 6-0 are the surprise of the year to still be undefeated and to be as stout as they are on both sides of the ball. As consistently as they have been. And they hit the bye week at 6-0, and we'll see what happens when they come back and they come out. And they got the Giants twice at the end of the year. The Giants have been surprising, but that's the story. And thanks for the call, Jeff. I appreciate it. Jets aren't there yet in terms of story of the year type conversation. I mean, the story of the year right now is the fact that the Bills are 5-1, and the fact that they're 5-1 over 6-0 Philadelphia in my power rankings is because, yes, I chose them first, and I still didn't see them to be the Super Bowl winners, and I didn't see the Eagles coming as a Super Bowl contender. I saw them as a division winner. But the Buffalo Bills are 5-1, and you look at their competition through the first 6 weeks, and it is truly one of the toughest first third of a schedule you could have had. They're the ones who are here, if you will, as the Washington Generals to the defending Super Bowl champions Globetrotters. That's the way things are set up. You're at a very significant disadvantage in the NFL when you go into someone else's building and they're going crazy and they're getting rings and they're raising banners, and they went in there and shut the Rams' house up and closed it up and boarded it up and left town. 21-point winners. And then they went home and they demoralized the Tennessee Titans, who haven't lost since. But that's a nice tie break to have in your back pocket. That's the team that was the 1 seed last year. They go into Miami. They lose that one despite being completely shorthanded. Miami was at its top. I mean, Miami was at its tip top at that point for the first part of the season. They're not the same. Like, if they faced Miami over the last 3 weeks, they wouldn't have lost that game in Miami. If that game was anywhere between weeks 4 through 6. Then they go to Baltimore. They got a huge break on some dreadful roughing the passer penalty. By the way, there was another one of them on Monday night we didn't even talk about. Absurd. They eviscerate Pittsburgh and then go into Kansas City and win a tight one. Now they're on a bye. That's a hardcore 5-1. That is a hardcore 5-1. And I proffer to say, with all due respect, Philadelphia Eagles play those 6 games. They're not undefeated. And I know I'm tearing somebody down by lifting somebody else up. But you look at Philadelphia's first 6 games: at Detroit, home for Minnesota, at Washington, home for Jacksonville, at Arizona, home for Dallas. I mean, kudos to them for winning them, because they could have lost any number of them. Jacksonville came in, put 14 on them first, and it was a hard rain type of day, and Doug Peterson's back in there. Okay, Minnesota just come off of that week 1 rousing win over Green Bay. Detroit was full of hard knocks life in week 1, at the top of their offensive performance of the year so far. And they beat them all off, and that's terrific. They beat them back. That's great. That's why the Bills are 1 on my power rankings right now.